at Rich Chick 360, we have a platform where we just like to highlight women in business, women authors who are just doing their thing, because if you are a woman who aspires to grow in legacy and in wealth with your own vision and purpose, then you might find something here that can help you along your journey. So go ahead and share this out to every woman who you know is striving and who desires to live on purpose. But without further ado, you guys, let's jump on into it. So again, I have Miss Tiffinny Beard here, guys. She is an author. She's a speaker. I have actually 2 of her books here that she has published with me today. And I'm just going to let her tell you a little bit about who she is, and about the books that she has. So Tiffinny, welcome, sister. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, okay, you published 2 books, right? With your first one, accepting an apology that you may never receive. And I think that's like super deep, because so many people, they hold on to wanting people to say they're sorry, and people are sometimes dead and gone in their grave to where they can't give that apology. And then they're stuck with this, like still wanting that. So what made you, or what was the inspiration behind you writing that book?
That was just that book came, a lot of things, like you said, people are holding on to grudges and different things to people, from people that are, they're no longer with us, or people, they have grudges against people, and those people probably don't even know that those people even have grudges against them or whatnot. So this book just basically came about with just different things that I've experienced over the course of my lifetime.
Okay.
And, and I talk about in the first chapter of the book about, my higher power and how he just keeps you. And it's just things that I didn't even think about until I got older. And it basically had to do with child sexual abuse that made the book come forth. How do I keep holding on to this? What is it doing for me now? It's not, doing anything for me. It actually took the pastor at the church to, kind of tell me, like, what are you going to do if you never get an apology from this person? And, he was right. I thought about it. And that was like one of the hardest questions I had to answer to for myself. So it all starts with, for me, understanding that I have a higher power, understanding, prayer, and then working through some of the things that, I experienced and that other people have experienced regarding, just forgiveness in general, yourself and others.
Love it. Love it. So where can people find a copy of it?
They can find a copy on Amazon. It's on Amazon.
Okay.
I get a lot of inboxes for people. I want your book, but I want you to sign it. So they'll send me, PayPal and their address, and I'll sign the book and send them all, send it to them, but mostly on Amazon.
Okay. And we'll make sure that the links, at least to Amazon, are in the comments section. And then your second book, so you didn't stop there. You still, and I believe that you have a ton more books that are gonna come up out of you before it's all said and done. So I'm excited. But then you went on to write this journal, which is amazing. I don't know if I told you or not. I can't even. It is, I mean, I was going through it, and just like the layout, and then just everything that it makes you think about and reflect on. It's like, it helps you get your life together. So, like, what made you want to develop a product like this for other people?
Well, let's go back. So after the accepting apology book, I'm in school because I'm trying to obtain my PhD. So I'm working on my dissertation right now. But I have another book in the works called Afraid to Be Free. So I'm working on that book as well. And I bought different types of journals and different things. And I don't know, since COVID, that's a COVID journal right there. So that journal, this is a COVID journal, because I did this journal I think I started in April or May of this year,
Okay.
on the journal. And I just thought it would just be something different where we always, we accept an apology. It's a journal in itself as well, because, you know, after each chapter, there's questions. So in this book, it's more related to you. And, you know, we always got to worry about the household, the kids, the husband, the dog, the cat, the
Right.
job, the this, the this.
Right.
And sometimes we lose ourselves in just trying to, you know, conform to all different things. So in the
Right.
Give Yourself Time journal, this is about me. The journal's, you know, about me. What do I like? What do I don't like? What's my gifts or not my gifts, or where do I see myself? It's about me. It's not about anything else or anybody else. It's just about
Love
me.
it. Wow,
Yeah.
wow. And so, I mean, I think it's timely too, because, you know, during this pandemic, everybody's life has kind of slowed down. And so it has made us face different things about ourselves, you know, that maybe we might not have really paid attention to, because, you know, we were so busy going. But when like everything shut down and like stuff is just kind of slowed down, now people might be realizing, man, I do have an insecurity over here, or I do have like this issue that I've been always pushing back, or like you said, just taking care of everybody else and not just paying attention to. So this, I mean, I think this should be in like every self-care basket, every spa and pamper me. So if anybody out there is watching, if you do baskets, or if you work in the spa or a salon, I highly recommend that you get this book right here for your clients, either as a customer appreciation gift, or however you want to work it. But I truly do think that this is part, or it should be a part of every self-care like regimen, because I was going through it like this stuff is deep. So love it, love it, love it. And then where can they find this book? On Amazon also?
On Amazon as well.
Okay. Ooh, that sun is coming in golden on me.
Yes.
But we just gonna keep it moving. All right. So now I know that when you get a chance, like you like to tell your story, like, and like you know, just really speak your truth. Why do you feel like it's important for you to speak your truth for other women or men to hear what your story is?
Because, you know, my story, I've done, you know, I'm not going to say a super rough life. I've had some challenges, you know,
Okay.
and I've had to overcome a lot of those challenges. And I know that there's people out there that's facing or face those same challenges, or maybe, you know,
Okay.
different challenges, but different barriers or obstacles, but they all pretty much are the same. So
Okay.
I know for me that in order for, you know, they have this thing in the recovery field that says in order to keep it, you have to give it away. So in order for me to be able to, you know, I feel like to be able to make, you know, I went through these things, I dealt with them. I need to be able to turn around and pull somebody else up, help somebody else know that, hey,
That's good. That's good.
you can do it as well. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's not,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not any different from you. The only difference is that for me and you, is that I've done it and you just haven't yet, or you're on your way to. And I
Love
just want to
it.
be like, you know, like that beacon of light. I'm that beacon
Mm-hmm.
of light in that sea that's dark, that, hey, if that person can do it, I know I could do the
Then you
same
can do
thing,
it.
you know.
Love it. And minds are blind. Okay, awesome. So again, guys, so Tiffinny is a speaker. If you have any type of women empowerment, stuff can still be done online. So women empowerment events, or retreats, book her, because she has an amazing story. I don't know if she wants. Do you want to go into kind of like what you're speaking on?
Let's go. What you got for me?
Okay, I mean, look. I mean, well, when
I done wrote a whole book about it. So
and you know what? I should be like, spoiler, go get the book. But now we're gonna tap into. I mean, just because honestly, like when I first met you, I was like, man, that is a powerful woman. Like, no lie. Like your presence, like your confidence, and like what has brought you to this point where you know, you writing the books, you getting your degrees, and like, you know, from coming from, you know, a past where somebody could have easily just been like, you know what, I was dealt the wrong cards, I'm just gonna lay it down. What has kept you motivated and going?
My God and my children. You know,
Okay.
I was in that life in the streets and doing things that I had no business doing. I wasn't raised like that. I wasn't taught like that.
Okay.
I did it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I can't sit here and I could probably give you make up 1,000 reasons why I did the things I did. But the truth of the matter is, I did them because I wanted to. At the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, I could have made different choices in my life, but I did at that time. I didn't. I made those choices, and you know, and they landed me in prison on 5 different occasions, you know, away
Okay.
from my children, away from family and friends, missing holidays. And it was at that last time that I was in prison that, you know, I got on my knees and I just told God, like, you gotta have something better in store for me than this. This can't be
Mm-hmm.
my life. This can't be my life running in and out of prison. I know you didn't create me for this. And if you did, just go ahead and give me a life sentence right now.
Wow.
So
Mm-hmm.
I just basically leaned on God. You know, he said in his word that faith without works is dead. So I told him, when I get out this last time, I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do, but I'm gonna call you on your word, and you're gonna have to do what you're supposed to do and open those doors for me. And he did. I got out of prison, 39 years old, no education, no nothing. So
Wow.
what did I do? I went to school.
Mm-hmm.
Started off with my AA degree, went to my bachelor's degree. I overcome those fears of people telling me I was dumb and stupid and all those. I went to school. I realized I wasn't none of those.
Yeah.
How did I graduate with my AA degree and then my bachelor's? And then somewhere along the line it said, you know, go get this master's degree. So I'm like, okay, I got this master's, and then I wrote this book, and which your husband published, and I came to, I became, an author. And I'm looking back at my life at this point. I'm like, all the things that, society said I couldn't do, because I was a felon, because I've been to prison 5 times and I had 5 felonies. I overcame, all of those things. I remember in couple of years back, I was doing an interview for a program director position, and the man asked me that, the question they usually ask you, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I told him that I'm gonna give you an answer, but it's probably not gonna be the answer you're expecting. I said, I can't tell you where I'm gonna be in 5 years. And I said, I can tell you that I will want to grow, spiritually. I want to grow educationally. I want to grow in my career. I said, but the truth of the matter is, when I walked out of prison, and I think at that point it had been 10 years. When I walked out of prison, maybe 11 years ago, if you would have told me that day, asked me that day, where would I see myself in 5 years? My response would have been, I hope I don't see myself back in prison. That would have been my response.
Yeah.
I said, so for me to be sitting in front of you with, with my master's degree and I don't think at this point I have written a book. The book hadn't been released, but with my master's degree, and I'm sitting in the judges' chambers drinking coffee with the judges now, and I go in through the courthouse with the lawyers, and I don't have to go through the metal detector. I said, for me to be where I'm at right now, I can't tell you where I'm gonna be in 5 years, because I don't even know. I might be in the White House somewhere,
Oh,
And
no.
he laughed about it. He said, I really respect that answer,
Yeah.
So for me, it's just amazing what you can do when you really set your mind to it. And it sounds easy right now, but it was a lot of hard work, and a lot of work mentally,
Yeah.
a lot of mentally work.
So now that brings me to my next question. What are like maybe 2, maybe 3, if you can give me 3 like top mindsets or mentalities that you think somebody who might have a similar background as you, or just like, who have been in jail and like they might be coming out now and like, where do I start? What type of mindsets do you think that they would need to get to where like you are, like just going forth?
You know what? That mindset is just, like I tell my clients and I tell myself, you have to chase being on this side of the law the same way you chase being on the wrong side of the law. So
Okay.
whatever that dedication was to the wrong thing, dedicate it to the right thing. And keep your mind straight on what you need to do. Don't take giant leaps and bounds. Take baby steps. You know, if you have to, my first job when I got out was $7 an hour. You know, I was 39 years old making $7 an hour. That was ridiculous, but that was the only job I could get. Now here we are now. Do I make $7 an hour now? No, I make my base is 4 to 5 times that now. You know, so it's some things that just take it slow, steady. There you go. Slow and steady wins the race.
Love it. Love it. So now talk about your counseling that you do. And what type of people do you counsel or do you wish to counsel, and how do you see yourself helping them?
Mostly I do people that are referred by probation and parole. Okay. And we're doing substance abuse, we're doing anger management, domestic violence, parenting classes, self life skill classes, the detoxing classes, you know, mental health, making sure they're on the mental health. I haven't been doing a whole lot of that since COVID because, you know, the office kind of like closed down, do some things via online and via phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now everybody kind of has their own definition of success. So what would you say like your definition is?
My definition of success is I got a lot of definitions of success.
Give it to them, girl.
Number one definition of success is the fact that I was able to stop doing criminal activities and not be on parole or probation anymore. Like that was a number one success. You know, number two success is, you know, my degrees that I achieved because, you know, I was always told when I was younger that, you know, you dumb, you stupid, you this, you that. And it wasn't, you know, it wasn't the truth. We let those negative words tear us down and we think those are what we are. When we're in reality, we're really not. You know, and I look back on the people that told me how dumb and stupid I was, but I have more degrees than they have now.
Oh, girl.
You know, so those are, you know, successes. You know, knowing that my children don't have to be ashamed of their mom anymore. You know, those are successes. You know, being able to, you know, just the simple things. You know, take my grandchildren to school or go hang out with them. You know, those are what I call, you know, successes. Yes.
Okay. And so, how important do you feel like, let me see, like goal setting was in obtaining those? Like, did you have a goal? Like, okay, I'm gonna get this degree, or did things just kind of happen for you?
They just kind of happened.
Okay.
They just kind of, you know, like I said, I got out of prison. I was 39, and what I was gonna do, I barely had a high school diploma. So I'm like, I have to do something. So let me, you know, let me go to school. Received the AA degree, and then it just kind of everything just rolled from there. You know, everything just kind of like rolled. And I just go back to God when I said, hey, faith without works is dead. I'm gonna do my part. You need to do yours. And you know, he has been.
I would say, and I think it still takes like a certain type of intuition, or just like you said, like following the spirit to even like once things like just rolled out, to just stay that course, right? For you. And like just to, you know, to like even hear the direction that he was taking. I mean, because he has taken you like you are like, I mean, you've accomplished so much more in what, like 10, 11 years than some people accomplish in their whole life. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I still credit you, of course, like the Holy Spirit, you know, for just having that ear to hear what direction he wanted you to be in. I mean, because like, just think if you didn't hear go to school, you could still be doing that $7 an hour job. Like, you know what I mean? And for people who are watching this, I just want to reiterate the importance. Like, when God says move, move, even if you don't know how, or it don't seem like, oh, well, how am I gonna do it? Because obviously, like in Tiffany, you can probably attest, like, even if you don't know like the whole big picture, you just took like one step at a time, one step, right?
And sometimes God, if you don't move, it's kind of like Jonah in the well. When he didn't go do what God wanted to do, God did it for him. So he sometimes he'll move you himself. You need to move. And you won't move, and he'll move you for, move for you. And I talk about in the book about one of the jobs I had, and we got this new supervisor, and I don't know what his issue was with me, and that's fine. But he got me fired, and I was like, wow, and I really wasn't even mad that he fired me, that I got fired. And I was like, dang, you just, you fired me. You guys fired me. You guys didn't even give me the benefit of the doubt or anything. I've been working with y'all for 3+ years, and this guy come in 3 months, and I'm gone. But fine, I'm okay with it. But that was God. I feel like that guy was the vessel, because I had been saying for the last year and a half, I need to leave this job. I need to leave this job. When my supervisor leave, if he ever leave, I'm leaving. And I could never leave because I was stuck in. I was off every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that was just stuck for me. So when my supervisor left, that was my cue to leave, and I still didn't leave.
Okay.
Different things I still wouldn't leave. And so when they fired me, it was like my hand was forced. Forced you to leave. And I'm like, dang, now I'm fired. What am I gonna do? I gotta find another job. But then I didn't even have to, because like a week later, a job just landed in my face. Like, here, we need a clinical director over here. This is what we're gonna pay you. And I'm like, what? I did, like, some years ago when it happened, I did a Facebook video on it where, I still had Friday, Saturdays, and Sunday off. I was making more money. I was working less hours, less stress, less everything.
Wow.
And had that incident not happened, I would have missed that opportunity.
Yeah. Wow.
Sometimes God moves, and we're thinking like, dang, God, why did you do this? And why did you lie happen? But sometimes he's moving us because he has something better for us in store. So we just have to go with it a lot of times, and sometimes, and yeah.
Girl, I think that's the hard part for some people, because like you said, sometimes being stuck, even though like you might be unhappy, it's comfortable. Like, it still takes faith and like guts to like step out. So and now to take your story and put it into the books, like, what advice, maybe like one or two pieces of advice would you give to somebody who's like, man, I have a story, I want to write my story? Like, how did you get it from in here to out on paper? Because I know, like, I heard you say before, you have like your own way of like organizing like your thoughts. I know Courtney was trying to tell you, do this and this, and you was like, no.
So I was talking to Mr. Smith about actually editing my dissertation.
Okay.
Because we got to talking about, I can't remember what we got off subject about, but every time me and Courtney talk, we get off all subjects. So we got the off subject, and I explained to him, talked to him about what the pastor said. And then I told him, my son-in-law made the same comment about, apology. I said, I'm gonna write a book. So me and Courtney was talking about it. And when I first said it, I was kind of like, playing, but later on I was like, maybe I could. So I was like, well, what should I do, Courtney? So he's like, I'm gonna tell you what, do. He gave me some diagram or something to follow, do that. So I tried to do it, and I was like, no, let me just write this down, because that's not working for me. That part not working for me. And I told him, and he was like, oh, okay. And I said, I don't mean nothing. I don't want to hurt I'm not trying to hurt your feelings or saying that, which, your it doesn't work. I'm just saying that for me, on this book,
Yeah.
that didn't work, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And so I kind of just like wrote it, and I said, well, I'm gonna just write it,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna give it to you, and then you edit it how it needs to be,
Gotcha.
edited. But I just need to write it. So to answer your question, I have people that always ask me, well, how did you write your book and how you do that? And
Okay.
I said, well, different people do different things. I
Right.
said, for me, I just say the easiest thing to do is just write it,
Mm-hmm.
and then go with any. Then, like I said, that's for me to just write it all down and write it and go back and change it and, and write it and,
Mm-hmm.
then go from there. That's how it worked, for me. I can't say for anybody else.
Okay. And so like just what I like to call like mind dumping, like just get it all out. It don't have
Yes.
to be pretty at first, right? Like just get it out and then go back to.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So if you're listening to this and if you're like, I want to write a book, I have a story too. You can do Tiffinny's method. I mean, like just get it out, like brain dump it, everything, all the emotions and events, and then you can worry about organizing it and getting it all pretty and editing it later. But the first thing is just to get it out. So thank you for sharing that too, Tiffinny. So if you can like go back in history and talk to anybody, like sit down and have dinner, who would it be?
If I can go back in history and talk to anybody, man, that's deep. I would really want to say I would, you know, go back and talk to Martin Luther King, right?
Okay.
But really, in reality, I would just really want to go back a little bit farther, farther than that, and like talk to Harriet Tubman or somebody. Like, what gave her really the strength to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm risking my life for,
Right.
to help others, to free,
Yeah.
to free others. So that would probably be the person I would probably want to, to talk to, because that took a lot of courage, a lot of courage, a lot of pressure. And
Yeah.
at times when I'm doing, my speaking, it takes a lot of courage, especially when I go inside the prisons and I speak. It takes a lot of courage. When I go inside the men's prison and I speak, it takes a lot of, a lot of courage, because it could be intimidating to
Mm-hmm.
go into, places like that, and you're in a room full of, people from all different walks of earth that's done all kind of imaginable crimes. But by the same token, I live with them people too. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, but it's the same thing, like the courage to be able to go in there and be your own true self,
Okay.
and say, hey, I've done it, I've overcame it, so that means that you can too, you
Okay.
know.
Okay.
So like Harriet Tubman, she done it, she overcame it, she helped others overcome,
Mm-hmm.
bondage.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so that brings me to, we didn't touch on that much. So you go into prisons and like you talk. So like what type of messages are you trying to leave them with?
Well, the first time I went to a prison, they reached out to me a couple of years ago, and it was a lady chaplain that was a chaplain when I was in prison. And she said, hey, I see you on Facebook, you're doing wonderful things. We having this women's conference and I would love for you to come. And I'm like, are you serious? She's like, yes. She said, we got to write a letter to the warden. And I wrote the letter to the warden, and the warden sent the letter back and said, we would love to have you. And I flew out to California and,
Wow.
and
That's
went to the
big.
prison. Yeah, I went to the prison, and at the front gate, and the guard, the COs was, nice to me and referring to my last name. Do you want some water? And then they came in and took me in the back, and I walked in and the lady started clapping, and I looked out in this field, and I told the ladies, like, give me a moment. I need
Yeah.
to gather myself, because I looked out in the yard, and all the times I've been to prison, I remember the different things that went on on that yard, and the different things I seen.
Yeah.
And I just told I told him, I said, you guys, y'all just don't even know the emotions that are filling me, because this is so surreal to me. I said, the last 5 times I've been to this place, I said, I just walked through that front door. I said, the last 5 times I've been to this place, I came through the back door in a bus, in a muumuu, shackled from my head, from my ankles, on my wrists, and take off your clothes, bend over, cough, and do all this stuff. And to be able to come through this front door where the CEOs is being nice to me and be able to stand in front of you guys, I'm like, man, I just got to really have a moment, and my message when I talk to them is not that, not one of boasting, not one of I'm better than you. My message is, come with me, be with me, do what I'm doing, because this is not any place for anybody to be. It's a much better world outside. I'd rather be broke and free than rich and in prison.
Wow.
I think back, I was incarcerated with the Manson girls, I was incarcerated with Betty Broderick, I was incarcerated with Brenda Stewart, all these high profile people that are in prison and doing life. Like, I never thought in my life like I would ever be there, but I was. And I say, well, dang God, why me? But I need to bring the message to somebody else. There's always got to be some messengers. So I got to bring the message to somebody else to let them know that you can do. Don't let society dictate to you what you can and cannot do. I'm going to have a doctorate degree next year. I've written 2 books that are published. I have one, I have a quotes book that hopefully I should get out in the next month. I have another book waiting. I have my state license. I be in the back in the judges' chambers and had the judge make coffee for me. I used to be standing judges begging for my life. Now I'm in the judges' chambers with them with my feet kicked up. So I can't sit here and tell you that society is against me. They probably is against me, but I don't have to stay where they want me to be. I can branch out. That's why it's to give yourself time. You see the caterpillar. I got to go through that metamorphosis so I can become that butterfly that I am. And I can't do that if I'm letting society hold me down or hold me in that cocoon. Yes.
And I love what you said, like, in society, it might be against you, but that's not what you're going to accept. And I think that's the thing. People put too much power on external things, and they don't take not so much responsibility, but they don't it might be that they don't take responsibility for what is to be their outcome. So girl, I love it. Now, you mentioned Harriet Tubman is who you want to sit down with. Is she also somebody who you would say is a great inspiration, or is there somebody else who you feel has been a great inspiration to you?
I mean, she's an inspiration. She's definitely an inspiration. She's number one. She's a woman. She did some amazing things back in her time. But I would really still like to sit down and talk to Martin Luther King. I would sit down. Really, not even really Martin Luther King. Medgar Evers.
Medgar Evers, yeah.
So I would really like to talk to people that that overcame some things that allowed me to be able to be my real true self right now. Because if they wouldn't have made a lot of sacrifices, then I wouldn't be here probably doing some of the things I'm able to do right now.
Right.
Yes.
Right. What is your favorite part about being a published author?
That I did it. I know that probably don't sound like that I did it. That's like my
off your list,
that I did it. Like, dang, I really, I really did that. Like, that was like probably the biggest. I think when your husband was editing my book, I probably worried him to death.
Fine.
I'm like, you're not ready yet. Like, you're not ready yet. Like you're not ready yet. So yeah, just that I did it. I did something that I never thought I would. That I never thought I would do.
Love it. So now, would you consider yourself a writer, or more of just, I have a story in my life and I have just, wisdom and experience that people have to hear? Because sometimes people are like, oh, well, I write books because I'm a writer. And some are just like, well, I'm not so much a writer. I just have stuff that I need to. Which category would you say that you fall in?
The latter, because
Okay.
I just have some, some things I want to share with people or
Yeah.
help them, get through or whatnot. I don't think
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I'll probably be listed as a writer, author, because I am, but
Yeah.
that's not,
That's not, okay.
yeah,
Like that
it's not,
one what initiated. No, I got you.
yeah.
And so I know like we are closing in on time here. I'm gonna go to the comment section, see if anybody has any questions for Miss Tiffinny Beard here. Let's see. This is my phone. All right, let's see. Oh, thank you, Tristan, for sharing the post. Hey, Lanita, thank you for sharing the post. Okay, let me see. I don't see any questions so far, so we're gonna keep it going. And then I just have a couple of more things, and then I wanna let you go because I know that you got some more stuff to write and grand hearings and all that. So when you are like not doing all of this, everything like writing the books or speaking and doing all the things that you do, like what are your hobbies? What do you like to do in your spare time?
Nothing.
The best thing to do, right? Nothing.
No, my spare time, I'll spend time with the grandchildren, or hang out with them, or like I said, nothing, or somebody, let's go grab something to eat, or I like to try to relax if possible, but for the most part, I like to do nothing. Sit on the couch, watch me some Law and Order or some Chicago PD.
Okay.
I like to do Scrabble on my phone, word games and things.
Are you on Words with Friends?
I am.
I'm gonna find you.
I play about 20 games at one time. So.
Me too. And then like I don't play for like 3 weeks, and then I'll come back. But no, yeah, that's my game. That's my game.
So I do that. I kind of just like, try to relax.
Okay.
Something with the kids, the little babies, or try to enjoy what life has to offer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say thank you again, girl, for for one, just being you. Like, can't nobody do Tiffinny Beard like Tiffinny. I told you this before we came on. I love me some Tiffinny Beard because, and this is why. Like, one, you are so real. Like, and these days, when people are put on so many fake facades, people are, scared to like show who they truly are. They trying to be people who you are just plain old real. And I appreciate that. I love your story. I love like the comeback story, like yes, you started at one place, but you have like taken total control and have allowed God to do what he needs to do in your life and to use your experiences not as excuses but as more of a platform to do what you are purposed to do more. So I mean, I appreciate that. Definitely, guys, I will post the links. I will look up and post the links to these books. Get them, contact Tiffinny. Now, Tiffinny, do you have a website, or if people want to reach out, how would they reach out to you?
I'm getting a new website. It's under construction right now. So usually people contact me on Facebook Messenger, or they contact me on Instagram, or my email at metamorphosiscounseling@yahoo.com.
Okay. I'll get a pen, and then I will, you know what? Oh,
Metamorphosis.
Is it in your book?
It's in the book. It's in the book.
Okay.
Page.
Okay. Because I have a pen, and I'm like, I know I'm gonna put the O and the R in the wrong spot. So okay.
Or some people contact me, at tiffinnybeard@yahoo.com. But yeah, I'm in the works of revamping all of that.
Okay. Okay, but either way, y'all, get with this lady. She is powerful. Get the books. It will bless your life. Get them for gifts. They will bless somebody's life, especially, and I think that even young girls, like teenagers, because I mean, our young people go through some stuff. We think that, oh, well, like, they young, they don't know nothing about life. No, these teenagers these days, they've been through stuff more than probably what. So, yes. And
Mhm.
the reason why I asked you to come on as a guest, and thank you again for accepting, is because I see you as being 100% like rich in spirit, rich in purpose. Like, that's what Rich Chick 360 is about. It's not just about financial wealth, which I believe God is going to, through what he's doing in you, you're going to be abundantly blessed in all areas of your life. And so that's the richness that we live in, things that are solid and things that are going to live on way after we are gone. And I totally see that in who you are as a person, what you are doing. So you are amazing. If I never have said that to you, you're amazing.
Making me
Um,
blush.
Girl, I mean, it's 100% true. So thank you again for coming on the show,
Thank you.
taking time out. I've truly enjoyed our conversation. And so, guys, if you have questions for Tiffinny, go ahead and put them in the comments. Otherwise, I'll put her contact information so that you can reach out to her, even if you don't want to do it in private. Get with her. And yeah, and then also put some on her Cash App too. Put some on her
Hey,
Cash
my,
App.
my birthday's coming. Yeah.
See, look, it's her birthday month.
I'm
It's her
trying to
birthday.
get some cookies.
I got you. And I always got you. I
You
always
do, you
got you.
do, you do, you do, you do. I love you and Courtney.
Girl, we love you. But guys, thank y'all for tuning in again. I will see you next Tuesday. And until then, peace, love, and God bless. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks again, Tiff. I'll talk to you
Thank
soon.
you.
Okay.
Okay, thank
All right.
you.